Hello. This week I'm going to be making another bracelet. This one is a beaded loop bracelet, and I did do some of the more tedious prep ahead of time, just because it can take quite a long time, and I didn't want you sitting here watching me put beads on rings for forever. The materials that you're going to need are going to be linked down below, but I used lobster clasp, used 40 18 standard wire gauge 3/16 inch inner diameter rings, and there are 72 20 gauge 5/32 rings used with size 6 beads on them. This is the prep that I did ahead of time. It's just one size 6 glass seed bead, one size 6 glass seed bead on one of your 20 gauge rings. And when you buy seed beads, they are not necessarily all perfect, so sometimes you'll have some that don't fit, which is part of what makes it a very tedious prep process. I have more than 72 prepared, but that's because I make these more than just one or two at a time, and my patience is not always going to facilitate me sitting and spending time doing this for just one or two bracelets. So I put the beads on rings for significantly more than two at a time. But to get started, and this is a really simple one overall, which is great. So we're going to take, and of course, almost forgot, 2 pairs of pliers. The ones I use are linked down below with an affiliate link. We're going to start with one of our 3/16 inch rings, and I put my beaded rings into a cup like this so that I can scoop one up. Then I put my lobster clasp on, and then put another one on the other side so that on the ring it's beaded ring, lobster clasp, beaded ring, and then close that ring. Then I take my next big ring, hook one beaded ring on it, put it onto that ring we just closed, and put another beaded ring on there so that it is beaded ring, the chain, and then another beaded ring, and we close. Slipping is totally fine, totally normal. Okay. Another big ring. We just keep going like this until we have 36 of the rings with beads on them. And with these, this is going to make a bracelet total with the extension rings that I have up here that is about 7 3/4 of an inch long. If you want to make it longer, you can by all means add more of the rings like this rather than just adding more plain rings. Sorry, all sorts of tongue-tied today. And same thing if you need a shorter bracelet, then do fewer rings overall. You can also add more of these beaded rings per central ring. You could use all sorts of different colors. This is a bracelet style that I've made many times, and people like the noise. They like that they can fidget with it. And one of my favorite ways to make these is to use a mix of beads, just put them all together in the thing and randomly have my next color selected, which is part of why I'm in the habit of using the cup of beads and scooping that first beaded ring on there. These are also fun to do as earrings. When I make them as earrings, I do double the number of beaded rings, and I definitely don't have, 36 rings with beads on them. I do anywhere from 4 to 7 or 8, each with 4 beaded rings on them instead of 2. Apologies if you can hear the traffic noise. I do live relatively near a main road. Apologies for the fact that my camera has issues deciding what it wants to focus on. Sometimes it does great, and other times it decides that a little speck of dust is the most important thing for the entire world to see. this point, I have 36 rings that have 2 beaded rings each on them. And right now, if you wanted to, you could actually just be done here, because you can put the lobster clasp on anywhere on here. But I prefer to have a little bit of an extension because I do make these to sell at in-person events. And I'm taking 4 additional 3/16 inch rings. I'm going to close 2 of them. And then one I'm going to open and put both of those closed rings onto, so that I have a little 3-link long chain. And then I'm going to take the 4th one, open it, add the little 3-link chain to it, and then down for a moment. This lobster clasp is kind of in my way. I'm going to have the end here so that it is in our setup we've been using the whole time, where it's beaded ring, chain, beaded ring. And I'm going to take the open ring on this little short chain, put it through and close, so that now I have a bracelet with a little bit of an extension that brings it to about 7 3/4 of an inch long. And there's both of them. One of the benefits of counting out everything and not just going measured, or not just measuring as you go along, is that you can make sure that they are all the exact same length, which can be important if you are recreating for people to purchase from like an online site, or in person if you have a group of people that are coming through and they're all wanting the same thing. Yeah, the availability for color choices with something like this are completely limitless, and I hope you enjoy making your own. If you have enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more, don't hesitate to subscribe. I'm posting a tutorial every Tuesday, and every once in a while I'll be posting additional little one-off videos. Like last week was my unboxing of these 2 rings. I actually have a convention that I'm going to be preparing for at the very end of February, and then at the beginning of May I have a Ren fair that I am doing, so I will have videos about prepping for those as well. And I hope to see you along that journey. Have a good one.